Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing this very dramatic 60s Edie Sedgwick inspired makeup. If you are feeling this look, if you want to know how I achieved this dramatic cut crease, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my foundation, my concealer, and my powder off camera. In my last video, the smoky eye with a pop of color, I showed you how I do each of those steps in detail, what products I use, what my techniques are. So if you want to know how I do those things, go ahead and watch my last video, and I will be right back to do my eyes. I'm back. Okay, so I have done my foundation, I have done my concealer, and I have done my powder. So the next step is to start on the eyebrows and then the eyes. So at the time, in the 60s, it was really popular to have sort of bigger, bushier brows, maybe on the more natural side, which is back in right now for the most part. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill my brows in, and they're decent brows on their own. Like, they're kind of light and not quite as long as I would like them to be, but I have okay brows. But I'm gonna go ahead and fill them in and just make them look just a little bit bushier. So I'm starting with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in taupe. I'm just gonna hold my mirror right here, sorry guys. I'm just combing my hairs upward, and then I'm gonna go in and start adding hair strokes. I don't want it to look too perfect this time. Normally I would put the line in under my eye, under my eyebrow first, and then go ahead and fill in some hair strokes, but I really want it to look very natural, very much like just a natural bushy brow. So I'm going straight in with the hair strokes this time, instead of a perfectly defined line under my brow. Now our makeup look today is inspired by Edie Sedgwick, who, if you don't know, was an artist and an aspiring actress who moved from Boston to New York City. She came from a very wealthy family of old money and moved to New York City to try and become something in the art community. She ended up being really close to Andy Warhol, and that's kind of controversial because people think that he kind of, or it appears as though he kind of used her for her money, and she went through her trust fund really quickly and then got into drugs and was like absolutely falling apart, like falling into the darkness, and her parents just cut her off from their money once they realized that she was into drugs and part of a community that they didn't want to be like seen with or didn't want to approve of. So it's just a really sad story overall. She ended up overdosing on drugs at 28 years old, which is strange for me to think about because I am 28 right now, and that's like, it's just horrible to think about not having any of my life past this point, you know. That's so young. It's so young, with hardly any chance to do the things that you want to do. So yeah, it is a sad story. At least her death is. the end is. That, and when she was doing movies for Andy Warhol, he didn't pay her for any of the movies that she was in. Like, okay, maybe she already had some money, but you still pay people for the work that they do. And Andy Warhol refused to compensate her. This is a well-known thing. Not okay. There is a more recent movie made about her that came out in the 2000s that I think is called Factory Girl. I have not seen it yet, but I plan on looking into it and watching it. Before I did this look, I watched this segment of the Andy Warhol documentary that is about her, and I will go ahead and link that in the description box down below so that you can watch it if you want to, and you can learn a little bit more about her and her life. Next is my Milani Stay Put Brow Gel in medium brown. This is going to define my hairs and create some more depth in my eyebrows so they're not all just one color all the way through. I am also using this to comb my brow hairs upward. I want them to look fluffy and a little bit wild, I guess, not perfectly groomed. So I'm really combing them upwards so that they give that sort of look. In case you were wondering, my mirror that I have been holding and using and keep trying to move out of frame is this Hocus Pocus mirror that I got from Spirit Halloween, I think. And it says, "Oh, look, another glorious morning makes me sick." From Hocus Pocus, of course, that's Winifred. My best impression, anyway. Okay, so the next step is to prime our eyes and get started on our 60s eyeshadow. Now we are doing sort of a, like, this is heavy, this is dramatic for the 60s. This is a very strong look. So this, you may not feel comfortable doing this for, you know, an everyday look, and that's okay. You don't have to. But this would be great if you love dramatic makeup looks on a daily basis, or great for going out somewhere, or great for an event even, or especially a themed party. Okay, I'm going to take my P. Louise #1 base with a Morphe brush and put that all over my lid and up to my brow. And again, it doesn't have to be too perfect up by your eyebrow. We want that to be a little bit more natural. So don't worry about having a really perfect line under your brow or anything like that. I just kind of get as close as possible and use the edge of the brush to blend out the edge of my eye primer so I don't have any harsh lines. Now in my Anastasia Alyssa Edwards palette, I'm going to take this color, Believe. It's a purple color, kind of a bright purple. Really blue toned, like it has more blue in it than red. It's more purple than violet. I'm going to take it on a small fluffy brush, very small, like this. This is the Morphe M562. And I'm going to apply that where your crease would be, but I have hooded eyes, so the way that I do things is I keep my eyes open and I look into my mirror and I mark where I can see while my eyes are open. So for me, I would mark right here. Okay? And then when I look down, you can see where that line is, and it looks really high up, but when I relax my face and open my eyes, you can see it. So I'm gonna pick up some more of that color and define that line a little bit more. I wanna bring it all the way in to the corner of my eye, basically. And bring it out to the end of my brow. Now that's a little splotchy in a couple places. So I'm gonna take a different brush. This is a little bit of a denser brush, and pick up that purple and go over those lighter areas with this brush, over the whole thing basically, so that it really blends together. We want to keep it a pretty defined line that's not blended out too much on top or on bottom, because that's the whole like 60s part of it, is that it was like a sort of a cut crease, like the original cut crease. So I'm happy with this shape. I'm going to just add a little bit more purple right here where it's a little bit too light. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the purple. Now I'm going to take another small fluffy brush. That is the Morphe M507. And I'm going to dip that in the black color in this palette, which is called Beast. But any pigmented black will work. And I'm going to put that right at the bottom of this purple to deepen this line where the purple starts. I want the purple to extend past the black, so I don't want to bring the black all the way up, but I do want to deepen the bottom of that purple line. Still leaving it a pretty clear line. Like I haven't blended it down on my lid at all, as you can see. Okay, now that I have my black on, I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush, and I'm going to use this to just blend the two colors together and soften the outer edge of that purple just a little bit, just so that everything looks nice and blended. So this is what we're left with. Now I think I'm actually going to cut the crease on my eyelid under that black, because I would like a really nice clean line. So I'm going to take some of my P. Louise eye base in one, and my Morphe M167 brush, which looks like this. It's a flat, round brush. I'm gonna take my eye base on that brush and put it right under that black. Okay, so this is what we're left with. Now we have a blank lid and a nice clear defined line above it to mark our crease. Now I'm going to take my Morphe M433, which is a little bit fluffy, but also a little bit flat, not very flat and not completely fluffy on the other hand. And I'm going to take the white eyeshadow out of that palette, which is called Headliner. And I'm going to apply it where I put my eye base, where I put my P. Louise primer. I'm going to just set that and cover it with this white eyeshadow. I want a very bright lid. Now it's time for eyeliner, which happens to be my least favorite part. It makes me so anxious. I am going to use my NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner. I think it's just called Vinyl, that's the color, but it's black. It has a very fine tip on it, which makes it nice to get very sharp lines and points. And I'm going to put it across my entire lash line with just a little bit of a wing out, not too big. You could do a huge wing if you wanted to, and that would look stunning with this. I would love that. I just don't do it myself too often because it's very hard to do winged eyeliner with hooded eyes. And most of the time it ends up looking not quite right. I'm working on it though. That's also the reason why I typically keep my eyeliner very thin over my eye. Now I brought it down on the inner corner just a little bit because I felt like it was kind of unbalanced, but I made a little bit of a mess. So what I'm going to do is take a tiny bit of concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take this teeny tiny e.l.f. concealer brush and dip it in that concealer, and I'm gonna go right up against the edge of that line and clean up any of my mistakes. And here we go. That's the top of the eye finished. Now it's time to move on to the bottom of the eye. Now I'm going to take the NYX liquid liner in white to go right underneath my eyes and make my eye look a little bit bigger than it is. In the 60s and with Edie Sedgwick, it was super popular to line the bottom of your eye in white so that your eye looked a little bit larger. It was a really big trend. Twiggy did it too. So I'm starting right inside where I put my black liquid liner on the inner corner. And I'm going to take it across the entire lash line, as well as directly under my eyelashes. If you had a pencil to do this, a pencil would be really handy, but I don't have a pencil, so I'm just using liquid liner. Now don't worry about your eyelashes being white on the tips, because we are going to cover that. We're going to cover the tips of the eyelashes with mascara, so don't worry about the white that is on the tips of your lashes. I've got my white lining the bottom of my eye. Next, I need my purple that I originally used with the purple brush, the same brush, same color purple from the Alyssa Edwards palette, the color Believe. And I'm going to run that right under the white. This is the new bottom of my eye that I am creating. I want my eyes to look bigger, so I line the bottom in white. And then I line under that in purple and black. And we have created a new lower lid. I'm gonna darken up the outside portion just a little bit. And I'm going to take my other brush that I used with the black, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of black and deepen up the purple just a tiny bit with that. Still staying away from the white. I do not want to cover the white. I'm gonna join that up with my wing. There we go. And this is what I have so far. Now it's time to apply lashes, or top lashes anyway. I'm going to be using the Kiss Naked Drama Chiffon lashes. I get more compliments on these lashes than I have on any lashes I've ever worn. It makes me want to buy 10 pairs of these lashes. Now that my lashes are on and dry, or at least mostly dry, I'm going to use my Essence Lash Princess Mascara. This one is waterproof. On my eyelashes, and I'm going to use my tweezers to squeeze my eyelashes and falsies together so that they stick. I know a lot of people do this with an eyelash curler, but for some reason that just makes me so nervous. I don't like to do that. I'm afraid I'll pull my lashes off after I have spent a lot of time putting them on. I know it's like really easy for a lot of people to do lashes, but it takes work for me, man. It's hard. Now I'm going to take my NYX liquid liner in vinyl one more time, and I'm going to draw on some lashes on my bottom lash line. Now this could be awesome, or this could go horribly and ruin my whole makeup look, so we shall see. And now it is time to mascara the bottom tip of our lower lashes. The reason we don't want to put mascara all over our bottom lashes is that it would defeat the purpose of putting white right underneath our eyes if we cover that with mascara. So we don't want to have mascara all the way up to the root of the lash because it will cover up that white that we took our time doing and putting down. I kind of wish I had even bigger lashes to go on my eye because I feel like this would be best with huge lashes. I know that Edie used to stack lashes together and wear those, but I didn't have like the right lashes to put together, so I just went with one pair today. Although you could absolutely do more than one set of lashes and it would look perfect. Now it's time for me to go and do the other eye, and then I will come back for us to do our contour, blush, highlight, and everything else. Hi, I am back. I have finished both eyes now, and it took entirely too long because I was busy watching glam and gore videos. Oops. So now it is time to finish our contour, our blush, our highlight, and set our makeup. Now, Edie did not wear a lot of contour or blush. She was known as being very, very pale with very pale lips. So I'm not going to go too heavy on the contour, and I'm going to keep it pretty light on the lips as well. So for our contour, I am taking the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette, which is this palette, and I'm going to use this color, the darkest color or the last color in the palette. I'm going to use this color to contour under my cheekbones, my jawline, and my temples. But I'm going to keep it pretty light. I'm not going to do a very heavy application of it this time. So I'm just going to stipple it on where I want it and then begin blending in small circles so that I don't have a harsh line. Same thing under the jaw. And a little bit on the temple and forehead, right up in the hairline. I don't want it to be too tanned looking because she was very pale. I just want to give a little bit of shape back to my face after putting the foundation and concealer on. So just a little bit. I like that. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I like that for the contour. I think that's pretty good. So let's move on to blush. Now right here, I already had the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio with me. It looks like this. I'm going to choose, which one should we do for this look? I'm gonna choose just a little bit of this brighter one, this orange one right here, called Desert. I want to keep it very light, that's why I chose that one. I don't want the blush to be too obvious. I want it to really blend in with my contour color. And I think that one works pretty well. Now it's time for our highlighter. Today I am going to use a little bit of this Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder. This one right here. It's called Bloom Time. Now I know the 60s weren't all about highlighter. That's a fairly recent trend, but personally I do love highlighter, so that's why I'm adding it. I can't help it. Right here between my brows is my absolute favorite place to highlight. I like drawing attention right here, right between my eyes. I feel like it's a really nice balance. It brings symmetry to my face and it really draws the attention to my eyes. For the rest of my nose, I will take the edge of my brush and highlight my nose. And a little bit on the tip of my nose, because that's a favorite of mine. I know it's kind of out of trend right now, but I love it. The last place I'm going to highlight is right above my Cupid's bow. I am going to use this LA Girl lip liner in Enduring Mauve to line my lips and also to fill them in. Now that I have my lips lined and filled in, I'm going to add just a little bit of my concealer to the center of my lips to lighten them up and add some dimension. Also, like I said earlier, Edie had very pale lips, or she was known for having very pale lips, so I want to lighten these up just a little bit. I feel pretty good about this. So the very last step is to set our makeup. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere because we spent quite a long time doing all of this, so we want to make sure it stays in place. Now I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This one. And I am going to, like I said in my last video, absolutely bathe myself in this setting spray. And then I'm going to use my hand fan to dry it off. Now I had forgotten about this. So the actual last step is going to be this body shimmer spray that I just picked up from LA Girl. It's a finishing spray for face and body, and I've never used it before. This one is in the color Gold. So I'm really excited to see how it looks and how it turns out because I haven't tried it at all. And this is the finished look. I really like this. I think that I could wear this on a regular basis. I know this is quite a bit dramatic, but I am loving this look. I am loving how I feel in this look. Please give it a try. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this tutorial taught you anything. Let me know if you like this look or if you feel like I should do more looks like this one, and I absolutely will. Just comment down below. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you thought of the video. Tell me what you thought of the look or what you think of 60s looks in general. And don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe. Thank you guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.